Thank you for joining me on Their Fight Story. I have Rocky Long with us. Hi, Rocky. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
How did you get into martial arts?
Just been doing it all my life. I have an uncle that was a Taekwondo instructor, and I mean, I was a kid at the time, maybe 7 years old, and I remember we'd go visit him. My cousin's about the same age as I am. We used to hang out over there, and he'd be doing Taekwondo and stuff like that. So I started messing around with that with him, and just having fun whenever I'd go visit on the weekends and summers and stuff. We started doing that.
Did you have fun doing it, or was it more like, sometimes family members like, oh, you need to do this sport or you need to do that, and you were obligated to, or did you actually enjoy it in the beginning?
No, I had fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. When I was a little kid, I used to watch all the Bruce Lee movies and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. So I enjoyed martial arts since I was a little kid.
How has martial arts impacted your life?
It impacted it a lot. I mean, I made a living out of it. I've been fighting for over 20 years professional. So yeah, it has impacted me a lot. That's all I do. I'm an instructor right now at Hensel Gracie Pittsburgh, Team Hensel Gracie Pittsburgh, stout training, and yeah, I've been doing this. I've been instructing people, fighting, and that's it. Yeah, that's all I do now.
How did you get into the jiu-jitsu aspect of it?
Well, it's simple. Everybody says this, and it's just the way it happened. I mean, when I watched the UFC for the first time in '94,
Mhm.
I remember watching Royce Gracie, and I saw this guy, smaller guy, all leaned out, and him tapping out these guys, choking them, getting their arms, and making these guys tap. I didn't know what he was doing, So I just wanted to figure it out. And as soon as I found a school that taught that, that's where I started training at. I trained with Alva Solis, Carlos Machado black belt
Okay.
in Texas. I'm from Texas originally. I'm living in north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania now.
Nice. Do you feel this is a good path for the youth to take?
Oh, it's a perfect path to take. I've worked with the anti-bully program with unbullyfree.org, and I've helped out, worked with kids, talked to them. I've trained kids from there, kids that have been bullied and kids that seem to be the bullies. All that goes away when they do this type of training. It humbles you. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're which side of that you're on, the bad guy or the good guy. It fixes both of them.
How do you feel it leads them to the right path?
Just being humbled. When somebody smacks you in the face and puts you down, and you have no other choice but to defend yourself. You learn you're not the bad guy no more. You're not so tough. And then it'll break you and change you. And if you're the guy, the small guy, and you end up throwing around some big guy by doing the right technique, using the right leverage against somebody, using
Mm-hmm.
their own weight against them, and you end up realizing, hey, look at what I can do. It'll encourage them to that they don't have to be the one getting pushed around or picked on. They're just as strong as somebody else.
Yeah. You've been fighting for 20 years. Is there
Yeah.
a particular fight that stands out for you, regardless of the outcome of the fight?
Um, One that I really liked was I fought Mike Brown. If you know who he is, he's a coach, a head coach of the American Top Team
Mhm.
right now. And I remember I fought him before he became the WEC Featherweight champion and all that. I mean, it was right before that. We fought on a different, smaller show, local show in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. And we went at it. He was real cool, real humble guy. Yeah, things didn't go my way, but I remember we went at it. Round and a half. He caught me in a choke the second round, and we were out there. I was ready to start swinging. I've been more of a striker all the time, but yeah, it was real cool. He was a real nice person. It was awesome meeting him because, to me, I'm not the type of guy that would talk crap to somebody or be
Mhm.
happy, be ready to beat them up because, just trying to make a name for myself. I felt it was an honor that I got a chance to fight him. I thought it was awesome because I remember watching him fight on TV and then me standing in front of him. I saw him fighting in the UFC.
Mhm.
He fought Genki Sudo. I can't remember, but I remember I watching him on the UFC, and then I ended up fighting him right across the cage from him. It was awesome. I mean, it was a great experience.
So You started in Taekwondo.
Yes.
You did jujitsu, or you're still doing jujitsu, but you're more of a striker. How did the striking?
Well, my uncle, he's the one that had a school. He would did a professional kickboxing, the old school kickboxing,
Okay.
not the Muay Thai, the old school kickboxing, and he did some pro boxing, and he would train me. So I did end up doing a lot of striking. You know, just from watching the UFC the first time, that was why I wanted to learn the jiu-jitsu part. It's like, wow, I wanted to see how this small guy was putting these guys out, and as it's not all about striking, but I've always been, I was real comfortable on my feet and, you know, punching and kicking and all that.
No, it's important to be well-rounded because you never know where the fight is going to take you.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm not sure if you mentioned, but where are you currently training? I know you said you're an instructor, but where are you
and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania now. I'm originally from Texas all my life. I've only been living here for about 3 years now.
Okay.
I've been training here. So I teach here at Stout Training Team Hanzo Gracie, Pittsburgh, and also train at the Academy with UFC fighter Kama Worthy.
And who is currently managing you?
CNC Management. It was pretty cool how we hooked up. You know, Kerry's a real good guy. I mean, I could see the kind of stuff he's doing for fighters and stuff, and you know, he's really trying to push us to put us out there and try to, you know, get us to go out there. I've fought a lot of fights. I've had 63 professional fights, and I've never had a manager.
Oh wow! Wait? How did you guys connect?
We just online. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here through Facebook, and it was pretty cool. You know, I sent him a couple of things about myself, and I saw that he did he had some guys fighting bare knuckle, and I thought that was pretty cool. I just wanted to get on. You know, I've been wanting to do that since I saw that sport, you know, begin.
Yeah. So you were doing like 63 fights before, and you were never managed?
No.
How were you able to get fights? And do you feel that things would have been differently if you were managed by
my instructor at the time? He was ranked the #1 lightweight UFC fighter in the UFC. Eve Edwards was my instructor years ago in Texas, and he was busy fighting, so he couldn't manage me. But I was his first student to turn pro, and out of his gym, he would find fights for me and stuff like that. And of course, getting in there, he started to learn people, and of course, he ended up moving away for a while. He started training with the American Top Team and everything, and you know, people already knew who I was because of the fights I was at. So you get contacted here and there by different promotions and everything, and you know, so I just kept fighting from there.
Awesome. What does I'm sorry. What does it look like fighting for you in the future?
Well, you know, I've had 63 professional fights. I've been saying I'll retire, you know, and then I come out and I fought again, and it's just like I saw this new sport, and it's like and I saw it, and I really didn't think too much about doing it. I thought, I was like, man, this is wild. These guys are doing bare knuckle boxing, fighting each other, and I'm like, I've done Muay Thai, I've done boxing, I've done, you know, MMA, and I was like, and I've done pancrase, which is basically MMA without gloves, but we hit open palm to the face. We struck, we could punch to the body, knees, and all that stuff happened. But yeah, I trained my son of mine. He's 22 years old, and he trained he fought for 10 years. He's won Golden Gloves like 3 times, and you know, he's beat a couple national champs, 7-time national champ, 5-time national champ, TKO on people. Well, he stayed busy that night. I talked to him because I found out about the bare knuckle, and I said, hey, what do you think, boy? You want to try to do this? He's like, or I said, are you scared? He goes, no, I'm not scared. I'll fight. And I was like, all right, well, let me see what I can do. And I was just looking, you know, around, trying to see if I could, you know, maybe find him a fight and see if we could do something, because he could box pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, he would go toe to toe some of the pros, you know, that were to box with them, the MMA guys, and he would be able to do real well with them. So I figured this new sport would be pretty good for him. But then one day I was at the gym training the Muay Thai group, for some amateur fights. I was helping them with their boxing. So I was helping the Muay Thai instructor and working on boxing. And our the head trainer and owner at the gym comes in the room with me and he goes, "Hey Rocky, can you come out here and come out and help spar, man? We need somebody to come spar out here." I'm like, "All right, that's fine." I had done a few rounds with some of the guys, but they were all amateur. So I went over to the room and Julian Lane was there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, you want to box Julian Lane?" I was like, "Fine, let's go. You know, it's all right." So
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, I'm gonna fight." You know, I'm fixing to spar out Julian Lane. You know, it's pretty cool. And then they're like, "Hey, he's getting ready for bare knuckle fight." It was right before, I think it was 2 weeks before he fought Leonard Garcia in Mexico. And you know, it's still at the time I wasn't thinking about me doing any form of bare knuckle at the time. I was basically done with that. I was just gonna train people, and so me and Julian Lane started going at it. He's cracking me a few good times. I was punching him back. We were going at it. Like, man, we were going. I was like, all right. I was able to eat a lot of those punches. He was way bigger than I was, and he hits pretty hard. And we went at it pretty good. We got a couple rounds in, and it was pretty good. I'm like, and I guess he brought it out of me that I could fight still. I'm not done. I can still throw the hands. I can still go, especially if we're just punching. I don't have to worry about nobody grabbing my leg or hugging on me or whatever, kneeing me. Which it was just completely. I know bare knuckle is completely different, but I didn't understand it. I understand it too well until after that. So me and Julian were talking, and I was like, "Yeah, man." We ended up being friends on Facebook, talking about it. And he said, "Yeah, he'll try to set me up out there." And I've had a few people that have put my name out there, trying to talk to the boss man out there, trying to get me on. But I'm glad that Kerry and guys CNC Management, they're doing great. Trying to push us to get in there. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, Julian Lane's the one that got motivated me to do this. And I've been training since just doing that. It's been since his fight in Mexico, which was last year.
Yeah.
I've been training basically for a year.
Good. Do you think this pandemic has helped you with your training?
Yeah, it actually did. I was supposed to fight an MMA fight last March in Massachusetts, and I just wanted to not get any ring rust, so I just took a fight, and I was like hoping that I get into bare knuckle fighting or hopefully, and so I was training, and then they shut down. They have weigh-ins, they canceled the event and all that, and it was March 23rd. The fight was going to be on March 24th last year. So then I was just at home and just kept training. And one of the coaches, Kama Worthy's coaches, Kama Worthy was still fighting the UFC. They were doing, their shows that we're doing here and there. So we kept training together. I kept training with them. Then I got with one of his coaches and I said, "Hey, I actually need a coach." I know I hadn't had a coach. I'd been training myself for years already, no management, training myself for a while. Since Eve Edwards left, I kind of did my own thing, which is not very smart, but it's good to have a coach, management, and all that. Anyway, so I just kept training to do that, and we have all our focus is just in training, so it was pretty cool. I helped Comey Worth get ready out, and he got a couple wins on the UFC. We got a chance to get some good sparring rounds together, but at that time, one of his coaches told me just to focus on boxing if I want to do bare knuckle, and so I was just doing that. I would just box with him. Kama does all sorts of stuff, kicks, punches, everything that you have to do. But I just focused on just throwing hands since then. So it was pretty good. So it did keep me busy and more isolated. I was able to just to focus on just training during this whole pandemic. The whole shutdown and everything. It was good that I got a good group of people to work with, and I got to stay real busy just training.
How have you been able to manage your personal life with your career?
It just works out well, well, number one thing, my wife is, if I didn't have her, it'd be hard, but she's so supportive and helps me out with all of this. She understands, what I do and everything. And she supports me and what I'm doing as far as now that I'm trying to do this. And, she helps take care of that. And all I do now, like I said, I'm an instructor at the gym. I teach over there, make money that way. I do that. I train, and all I do is train people and train to fight. And then we have our little kids. We go and I take my son with me to go watch me train all the time, just like my older son. But, yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 8.
God bless you.
I have 6 daughters and 2 sons. My youngest is she's gonna be 6 weeks old
Oh, congratulations.
this Saturday. Yeah, newborn, and the son that's 2 years old. His little Rocky. His name is Rocky too.
That's so cute. Have you ever questioned if this was the right path for you?
No, I just one day I was like, what do I like doing? I realized this is what I like doing. I like fighting, learning, training to fight. So I started doing it. I was like, it's been great. I just when I stuck to it, and I haven't stopped going at training ever since I decided to find out what I actually liked to do. So I've been doing that. And like I said, my wife Amanda, she's been so supportive. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. If you need somebody like that, if you are with somebody, be in a relationship like that, that's somebody that has your back and supports you when you do stuff like this.
Yeah, having the right support is very, very important in everything that we do in life, because without it, it makes it very difficult, or possibly, makes it feel like it's impossible unless you have the right person by your side, whether it's your coach, your spouse, family. It's very important. Is there anything that you would like to share for upcoming fighters before we conclude with your interview?
For upcoming fighters, just find the right people to train with. Somebody that can hold you accountable, keep you busy, do the right things, accept criticism. Do not, you're not the best out there. There's always somebody better. We got to listen to our coaches. They're your coaches for a reason. You just got to be able to, do what you're told, basically. If you're a fighter, you're a fighter. You fight. You don't worry about who you're going to fight, what you're going to do. If you have a good coach, he knows who you're going to fight. He's going to help you get ready for that person. You just do what you're told and go on. Don't go, I need to see who this guy is, or don't ask questions. If you have to question what your coach is doing, get a new coach. That's why I see it. So I think it's very important that fighters need to stay on the right path. If you get a good coach, listen to your coach and basically do that. That's it. Because I train fighters. I told them that. I was like, you know what? If you just got to do what you're told. I wouldn't, you don't, as a coach, you don't want to be looked bad, so you want to take care of your guys. I wouldn't put them in harm's way. I take care of them. And as far as the training goes, do what you're told the whole time.
How important? Actually, let me just ask you this: how important do you feel it is to have a good management team?
I think it's great because at this point, like now, I'm saying like this sport here, it's blowing up. It's pretty cool that this just started. Like I said, I wish this would have started a long time ago for me. Like I said, I'm 43 years old now. I started fighting professional at 22, and I said I would have been doing this bare knuckle boxing a long time ago. But I like the way this sport is because it's a whole new sport. Things I've had my ups and downs also in MMA and all that, and downs. Doing things the wrong way, maybe not having the right coaching at the time at certain times, and me still fighting and not being managed and all that. A lot of things didn't go right, but this sport here it's brand new. It's not bare knuckle boxing is not boxing. Bare knuckle boxing is not MMA. So to me, it's like it's kind of hard to have amateur bare knuckle boxing, but everybody that's doing this bare knuckle boxing now, they're all. It's new to everybody, To me, everybody's a beginner when you get in there. You see some world champion boxers in there boxing, and they're getting beat by these guys. Some of these guys, and also some real great MMA guys. You'll see them, do real great out in the cage, and they're in there boxing. And they're not doing so well against some guy you don't even know who this guy is. But it's a whole different thing. It's a different show, and everybody needs to see it that way. It really is completely different. To me, it's like it's me starting over. That's what it feels like. The thing. It's good to have fighting in the background, and that you have fought, so that what you're getting into, and the kind of stuff that might happen in there. How your body actually feels, your nerves and all that. And you get all that out the way. You know how to handle that. The fight comes. You don't know what. You have a lot of plans to get cracked. You hit in the face, and it's time to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Well,
And
thank
I
you.
hope to speak with you in the future regarding your upcoming fights.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye. You too.